Welcome to the first ever video for Breeding Winners LLC. This video is 29 years in the making. I began my database of horse racing data back in May of 1995. And the whole idea behind starting the database was to get better at picking winners at the racetrack. And now 29 years later, I'm still at it. And so I think that says an awful lot for how well this approach or this handicapping tool has been for me. It only takes one leap of faith that you believe that there's something to horses with similar breeding will win races under similar conditions. And if you're willing to take that leap of faith, then I think you'll find my work very intriguing and very helpful. I was a customer for Tomlinson's Mudders and Turfers back in the 90s. And I think that's really kind of what pointed me in the direction of doing what I do, and had the honor of actually meeting and talking with Art Kaufman, the creator of Tomlinson's Mudder and Turfer, and saw him at a handicapping contest in Connecticut back late 90s, early 2000s. He was a wonderful man, and may he rest in peace. Certainly his work has become part of everybody's handicapping tools. And I hope someday that my work will be adopted by many horse players. The first thing we need to do is to get you a copy of my unique statistics, and I will offer a one track per day for free on my website, www.breedingwinners.com. And you can go and register for free and get my unique stats for free, one each day. I hope to make one video per day on most days. Of course, life gets in the way sometimes, and there's traveling and other things, but hopefully most days I will create one video to handicap one race. So to get things started, I need you to go to my website, breedingwinners.com, register, go to the race reports section, and find today's racetrack that is free. And for Friday, November 1st, 2024, it will be Belmont at Aqueduct. And we go through the ordering process. And once you've completed that ordering process, and there'll be no charge, the race reports will be emailed to you. It'll be an attachment to an email. If the email doesn't arrive in just a couple minutes, please check your spam folder. And if you don't get them either in your inbox or in the spam folder, then there is a way to download the race reports directly off my website. So you would need to log back in to breedingwinners.com, go to the bottom of the homepage, and click on frequently asked questions. And there are directions as to how you can download those race reports for free directly off the website. So I encourage everybody to do that so you can see exactly what I'm talking about, because you'll have my statistics right in front of you. So I wish everybody well, that the system works quite well to get my products off of my website. Once you do have the race reports, you'll see that the file contains 18 pages. You will only need to print out the first 9 or view the first 9, because the last 9 pages are what I call my inclement weather report. And what that is it's the same statistics, except when turf races are taken off the turf and put onto the dirt. The inclement weather report switches the turf race to dirt, and we're only looking at statistics based on previous dirt winners. So now, when you look at the first page, it'll be the sire report for Belmont at Aqueduct. And for today's race, I have chosen to go to race number 9, which you'll find on the starting on the third page, and that would be the sire report and statistics for the sire, each sire in the field in race number 9 at Belmont at Aqueduct. And that race is a dirt race for older maidens, going 7 furlongs with a purse of $35,000. You'll see all that information displayed on that page. And then there's also a set of 3 pages that give the broodmare sire statistics. And then the next 3 pages give trainer statistics. So for this particular example, we'll be using pages 3, 6, and 9 to look at the sire statistics for race 9, the broodmare sire statistics, and the trainer statistics. It's made it easy to compare each runner in the field, and I'm kind of glad that I chose this race, because it's the only race on the particular page. And you can see each runner's name on the far left column that's running in the race, the sire for each of those entrants, and then the number of days since the horse last raced. The next column over is D/T, which is dirt to turf ratio, where on average, in that little gray column right underneath D/T, it shows 5.1, which means over the last 3 years, the most recent 3 years, there are 5.1 dirt races for every turf race. The next column shows race frequency. And in this case, for the first horse in the field, number 1, Matoli's Diamond, and the sire being Matoli, going on 15 days rest, and the dirt to turf ratio is 7.9. So when that ratio is greater than the average, and in this case that is the case, at 7.9 is greater than 5.1, you would say that this sire produces, on average, more dirt winners than turf winners. The race frequency column shows 12 for Matoli's Diamond. That means for this particular type of race, which is a maiden race on dirt for older horses, Matoli over the last 3 years has produced 12 such winners from a total of 63 total dirt winners, which is presented in the next column. And the column after that gives the distance, and today's distance is 7 furlongs, and my distance category is 6.5 to 7.5 furlongs. And the gray column, the gray row right under the distance shows 16. So for this type of race, 16% of all older maiden dirt races are contested at 6.5 to 7.5 furlongs. Matoli is nicely above average, and 25% of the 12 maiden dirt winners for older horses came in this distance category. So that's certainly a positive for this particular runner. And 42% of those 12 maiden dirt winners came at this purse level, which the purse being 35,000, the purse category would be from 31,000 to $40,000, and that's a very significant percentage in the purse column. So it's again, it's another positive sign. Um, the next column is layoff, and I'm the only one, I believe, who has actually looked at uh, tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of winning performances, and using just the most recent 3 years, let the data tell me where there seems to be a significant cut or break in the data to give me the layoff categories. And I've always used, because the data suggested that the proper layoff categories are 1 to 6 days, 7 to 22 days, 23 to 36 days, and 37 to 60 days, and then greater than 60 days. And my data tells me what percentage of winners come in each of those layoff categories. And for any particular runner, I'll compare that individual sire percentage to the overall universal average, and make a normalized number where, if my report in the layoff category shows 100, that would represent that sire is exactly average. If the layoff number is 50, then it would be half the average. If the layoff figure is 200, it would be twice the average. So in this case, for Mitole, the layoff figure is 78, which is 78% of average, which is basically a passing grade. There's no great positive or negative to take from that particular number. I typically look for layoff figures that are greater than 150 or 50% above the average as a significant positive. And when the layoff figure is less than 70 or 70% of the average, I take that as a bit of a negative. But it's always important to look at the horse's past performances and how a horse has performed previously in the same layoff category. And here, Mitole's Diamond is running on 15 days rest, is in the 7 to 22 day layoff category. And you would look at the past performances for how the horse has run previously in that layoff category. And looking at the past performances, we see that Mitole's Diamond has never run on short rest before. He had this 3-year-old gelding had his career debut, and then had a fairly long layoff to his second career race, and then had yet another long layoff to his last race. So today is the first time this maiden is running on short rest, and there, my sire stats do indicate some nice positives for this particular horse. The other column where there is data is the mud column, and that represents from Mitole's Diamond is 20.6% of all his 63 dirt winners have come over wet tracks, regardless of whether the track condition was good or wet fast or sloppy. Any of the wet conditions would fall into that category. So we've used Mitole's Diamond as an example to run through each of the statistical categories, again, based on the most recent 3 years of data, since the racing game is a very dynamic game, and it changes all the time. And so it only makes sense to use the most recent data. It should be noted that my database is only winning performances. To me, it doesn't make any sense to look at a sire's winning percentage for any statistic. The logic is by answering the question, how many ways can a horse possibly lose a race? And the proper answer to that question is there are infinite ways a horse, uh, reasons why a horse could possibly lose a race. So there's not really much to be learned from a losing performance, whereas I believe there's something positive to be learned from a winning performance. So all my statistics are based on just winning performances and asking the question, what percentage of the sire or the broodmare sire or the trainer winning performance, what percentage of the winning performances meet today's conditions? And so that's really what my data represents, is percentage of winning performances. It's kind of like the sire's winning profile is another way to put it. So after saying all that about Matoli's Diamond, looking at the past performances, we see that the trainer is a very low percentage trainer. The jockeys won one out of 70 mounts. The horse Matoli's Diamond has never come close to winning the 3 races that he's competed in. Based on that, that's be hard stretch to have good faith that this horse is going to run in the money. Although I would say just on the sire statistics alone, you could expect this horse probably to run the best race that he has run to date, and certainly going to be a huge price. Morning line 50-1. This is the type of play that breeding winners could be the only reason why you might include this horse in a trifecta or a superfecta wager. And on occasion, these types of plays do come in the money, and that certainly increases the potential payoff. So that's about all we really need to say about Matoli's Diamond. Number 2, forced errors. The sire data is all gets passing grades. The broodmare sire data, looking at that report, all gets passing grades. There are no standout statistics. The trainer data is very interesting. If you go over to the trainer report for forced errors, the trainer Rob Atras, 58% of his 12 older maiden dirt winners came in this distance category, while the average is 16. So that gives some good hope that there's a good intent on the trainer's part to potentially win this race. So I would put forced errors as a contender in this race. Number 3, Fire Baron. Again, looking at the sire statistics, there are no standouts. There are no big negatives. The trainer has had 8 starters. None of them have hit the board. It's 3% trainer overall. There's really nothing to recommend this maiden, who's had 33 tries to break maiden and hasn't done so. Number 4, Alec Karan. Looking at the breeding information off my race reports, once again, everything is kind of gets a passing grade. The layoff figure The broodmare sire is 69, so it's a little bit borderline there, because usually I use that 70 as a cutoff, but certainly no big negative. El Alcoran is dropping down to $20,000 for the just the second time. Run mainly on turf, trying dirt. And the dirt to turf ratio for his sire Fast Anna is 10.1, which certainly says that Fast Anna's foals are far better off on dirt than on turf. So the switch from turf to dirt makes this an interesting play, and I would consider the horse a contender in this field. Number 5, Guile, is got a 23% of 53 previous older maiden dirt winners by blame have come in this distance category. So it's a nice, healthy, above average 23% as compared to the average of 16%. So Guile seems to be running at a good distance for him, and it's actually a cutback. The horse has been going routes, and last time was the first time dropped down to $20,000. This horse certainly appears to be a contender. Next, we have Dangerous Driver. Looking at my sire and broodmare sire stats, no real big negatives, although the percentage at the distance for the broodmare sire is low at 5% from 41 previous winners. But typically for the distance variable, the statistic for the sire is more important than for the broodmare sire. So very, very slight negative there that it's really so low for the broodmare sire. The gelding himself is dropping down to $20,000 for the first time. Really hasn't been performing well at higher levels and running both on turf and dirt and all weather surfaces. Trainer is 7%. No, there's really not much to recommend Dangerous Driver other than the drop down to 20,000. Next, we got Get Ready to Rock, and I love the name. The sire stats are solid, and another sire that gets 23% of his foals to break maiden at the 6.5 to 7.5 furlong distance, and it's from a huge sample size of 60 previous maiden dirt winners. And let's see, Get Ready to Rock is dropping to 20,000 for the first time by a good trainer. Jockey's having a tough time at just 2%. Completely out of the question, but I would probably prefer others. Shaking the Bell, a bit low on the sire statistic for the distance at 6%. One out of 16 previous winners of maiden races on the dirt. So not liking that. And the horse has had many tries at this class level and still a maiden. So I would shy away from Striking the Bell. The number 9 horse, Neilrock, making just a second career start. Was in for $50,000 career debut, sprinting on the turf, and now trying the dirt. The dirt to turf ratio for the Sire Connect is 7.6. So again, leans towards dirt as compared to turf. The distance percentage is very healthy, nicely above average at 28% of the 50 previous maiden dirt winners. So that's a nice positive. Broodmare sire stats are fine. They all get passing grades. The trainer stats are very healthy, although I'd have to say there are only 5 previous maiden dirt winners trained by Bruce Brown. So those statistics on the trainer report are based on all 25 previous dirt winners instead of just the 5. I demand that there has to be at least 6 winners to produce the stats. If there's less than 6, then we'll use all the winners on the surface, whether it be dirt or turf, whatever the race is. So there are things to like about Neil Rock, and uh, can't fault anybody who would use them on your tickets. Um, the 10 Bolt to Pata, it's got a low layoff figure. It's less than 70, and that's based on a sample size of 43 for the Sire Bolt d'Oro. So I'm not liking that. Has he run on short rest before, and not really to get 22 days or less. Um, just last time out, uh, and horse didn't run well, so I would stay away from both De Plata and number 11 Prairie Dunes. Um, the sire stats, broodmare sire stats, and the trainer stats are all decent. The horse tried would drop down to 20,000 for the first time last time out. Um, ran fourth, cutting back from a mile back to 7 furlongs. That should help. Um, from a very good trainer who's had a rough meet. See Belmont 2 for 62 is very unusual for him. Certainly a contender in this field. So uh, I promised myself, and the software I'm using limits my videos to 30 minutes, and so time is running short. Hopefully, it makes some sense out of what I was trying to educate you on with my unique statistics that I have for really the greatest game on the planet, as far as I'm concerned. There's so much to love about thoroughbred racing, and I look forward to making these videos better. As had to start somewhere, and to start on Breeders' Cup weekend might be asking a bit much. So after making this video, I'm off to handicap the races at Delmar tomorrow for the first day of the Breeders' Cup. And as always, I handicap and make available my selections for the New York races. So I will have all my selections for all 9 races at Belmont at Aqueduct for tomorrow. And please subscribe to this new YouTube channel. That way, and after you hit the subscribe button, make sure that you click the notification bell so that you will be notified when I upload a new video, which typically I plan to upload each evening after the day's races are done. That's the time of day that I like to handicap, and so I will be uploading future videos in the evening race for the next day. So I'll always keep you a little bit ahead, so you have plenty of time to watch the video, make use of my products, And I wish you well with your wagers. Bye for now.